Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There was once a little girl who lived in a snug cottage surrounded by wild flowers, tucked on the edge of a deep, dark forest. The little girl's name was Goldilocks. Goldilocks had long, curly hair, as bright as the sun, and big round eyes as blue as the sky. Her cheeks flushed like pink rosebuds as she skipped through the meadows. In fact, she looked like the sweetest, quietest, best behaved girl you could ever meet. But oh dear, Goldilocks was the naughtiest little girl for miles around. When her mother asked her to water the plants, poor Pickles the cat got an unexpected shower. And when her father asked Goldilocks to paint the fence, she gave Digby the dog a coat of red roses. No matter how many times her parents pleaded, Goldilocks just couldn't seem to do as she was told. One morning, her mother asked her to go to the village to buy a loaf of bread. "And make sure you keep to the path," she called out. But Goldilocks had only been gone a few minutes when she wandered from the path. Soon she was in the heart of the deep, dark forest. Up ahead stood a little thatched cottage. "I wonder who lives there," thought Goldilocks. Forgetting all about her errand, she trotted down a hill and up to the front door. As she pushed open the cottage door, a sweet aroma came wafting out. Thought Goldilocks, sniffing the air. "Something smells really good." There on the table were 3 bowls of thick, creamy porridge. "Time for breakfast," said Goldilocks, licking her lips. Being a greedy little girl, Goldilocks started with the biggest bowl. She stuck in a spoon and swallowed a great big mouthful. In a flash, her cheeks turned from pale pink to bright red. "Too hot," she gasped, dropping the spoon in shock. Goldilocks dashed to the kitchen and glugged down some water. It took 3 whole glasses before her mouth cooled down. But Goldilocks was still hungry. "Ah well," she thought, "perhaps the porridge in that middle-sized bowl won't be quite so hot." Taking a slightly smaller spoonful this time, she popped the porridge into her mouth. The good news was that this one wasn't too hot. "Blur!" cried Goldilocks with a shiver. "This is too cold." She threw down the spoon in disgust and set her sights on the smallest bowl. This had better be good, she thought. She sniffed the porridge cautiously. It certainly smelled good. And then she took a teeny tiny spoonful. This one is just right." Now that she was sure the porridge was just how she liked it, Goldilocks gobbled it down in seconds. "Ah, that was super yummy," she said, and with a little burp she giggled. "Time for a rest," sighed Goldilocks. In front of the fireplace were 3 chairs. She threw herself onto the biggest one. "Ow!" she yelled. "Too hard." Goldilocks jumped down, rubbing her sore bottom. "That must be the most uncomfortable chair in the world." "This middle-sized one looks much more comfy," she thought. It was padded all over and had 2 huge, plump cushions. Goldilocks jumped up onto the seat. "Oh!" she yelped. "This one's too soft." Her legs and arms waggling in the air, she found herself swallowed up by the squashy cushions. After several tries, she eventually gave up. "Phew!" puffed Goldilocks. "Now I really do need to sit down. This small chair looks safe enough." Goldilocks gingerly lowered herself onto the tiny little seat. Not too hard, she said cautiously, and not too soft. In fact, this chair was just right. Now that she was certain that this chair was the best, Goldilocks bumped up and down in delight, and it wasn't long before there came a loud crack. The tiny chair had broken into even tinier pieces. Goldilocks looked down at the wreckage. "Oh well," she said, "it must have just been very badly made. Now where can I relax?" "I'll try upstairs," she thought. "There's bound to be a bed up there." Yawning loudly, she made her way up the staircase. Goldilocks had long forgotten the loaf of bread she was supposed to be buying. All she was interested in was a nice, long nap. She opened a door and found herself in a big, bright bedroom with 3 different sized beds. "That biggest one has plenty of space to sprawl out in," thought Goldilocks. She tried to climb up, but it wasn't easy. The thick mattress was way above her head, and when she finally got on top, she wanted to come straight down. "This one's too high," she panted dizzily. She slid off carefully and padded over to the middle-sized bed. "This one is more my height," said Goldilocks, diving atop the bed. "Help!" she cried, as she disappeared beneath a mass of squishy cushions and sank into the mattress. "This one's too deep. I feel like I'm drowning." Goldilocks wiggled and wrestled. She got caught up in the blankets and tangled in the sheets, but at last she tumbled out onto the carpet. Goldilocks was exhausted. There was only one bed left to try, the smallest one. This one feels okay," said Goldilocks. It wasn't too high, and it wasn't too deep. In fact, it was just right. Goldilocks snuggled under the covers and tugged them up tightly around her. In no time at all, she was fast asleep. A few minutes later, the owners of the little cottage returned from their morning walk. They soon got a shock when they saw the mess on their breakfast table. "Someone's been eating my porridge," growled Father Bear crossly. "Someone's been eating my porridge," cried Mother Bear nervously. "Someone's been eating my porridge," sniffed Baby Bear sadly, "and they've gobbled it all up." But that was just the start. "Look, someone's been sitting in my chair," grizzled Father Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," sighed Mother Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," cried Baby Bear, "and what's more, they've broken it." They stomped upstairs. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," snorted Father Bear. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," whined Mother Bear. "And someone's been sleeping in my bed," yelped Baby Bear, "and she's still in it." Goldilocks woke with a start to see 3 very grumpy bears staring right at her. "Help!" she screamed. Goldilocks threw off the bedclothes, jumped out of bed, hurtled downstairs, and shot out of the cottage. She ran and ran, faster than she'd ever run before, until she was safely home. "I'm sorry I didn't get the bread," she puffed, hugging her mother tightly, "but I promise to do as I'm told from now on." And do you know what? From that day forward, Goldilocks kept her promise to be good. At least, most of the time.